Hello, my beautiful collective. Welcome to the extended of the love reading, where I'm wearing this outfit. It's interesting because I feel like as I'm looking at these cards, we have the single card, soulmate card, air sign, so Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. And then we have the winter cards of Sagittarius energy. We have commitment here and pop up. So this is kind of giving like also many different people, like many different people that come into contact with you. They kind of perceive you in this way of like, wow, like you're so inspirational. Like I want to continue to pursue things that I enjoy because you're doing it. And sometimes you might not like actually sense that within your own experience because it's almost natural to you. And like I was saying in part one of this, it's like you have this ability to tap into different aspects of yourself because you're so detached. Like you let people witness you now more than ever. And I feel like that's kind of giving people the opportunity to present different things to you because it is kind of compassionate. Like your openness, your kind of versatile vulnerability, even. It's interesting because I feel like this energy is coming through is like you have a very multifaceted way of experiencing your life and you allow silence despite the fact that you are a very bubbly and like outgoing person in moments. Okay. Like I feel like, for example, like I do feel like for my collective, there's a lot of nerds in my collective, which is lovely. I love my nerds. But it's interesting because it comes through as like someone actually appreciating your intellect, your depth, your um like adventurous nature of discovering, like questing out and discovering different parts of yourself, like the ability to kind of like be on the polar opposite side of what you used to do, you know? And so this person really wants to like explore, and not even just this person, many different people want to do that. That's kind of what I'm getting as well with the single card and the Sagittarius energy emphasized twice because we have the Temperance card ruled by Sagittarius as well. So this is very open-minded. Like I want to learn more about like the culture of this, the energy of this, the community connection aspect of this. And then Aquarius energy coming through as well twice with the air sign card and the star card, which is the star card is ruled by Aquarius. And so for Aquarius energy, it's the 11th house. For the Sagittarius energy, it's the 9th house. So your placements in that house, in those houses, are going to be significant, especially with us moving into the year of the fire horse and also all these transits before we go into this new lunar new year. Lunar New Year. Fuck. But it's interesting because I feel like as you start to open your mind to even not just like for this like situation, like I feel like with yourself too, it's a very beautiful self-discovery aspect too. And it's like being open to seeing things in a different way when you tap into like the abundance mindset. That's kind of just what I'm getting from the Two of Wands and the Star card pertaining your energy. It's like the abundance mindset. And it's because of the fact that you've healed the victim mentality, the scarcity mindset, the scarcity behaviors, life forms that come through. Like I say life forms because I really do feel like you were surrounded by people who thought in that way. But now that you kind of like even live your life and you experience people in passing, or maybe you're even connected to some people very lightly, it's like, it's interesting. Oh my God. What the fuck? Bruh. My collective, you guys are so funny. You do kind of give player energy. And it's interesting because you definitely don't consider yourself, you definitely don't consider yourself this way. But it's like the way that people see you have a lot of charisma. You have a lot of charisma. And it's crazy because the way that you carry yourself is like you are the gift, you are the surprise, you are someone that really shows people like, wow, people can change and in such a beautiful way. And it's such a positive and healing experience. It's such a healing experience for the collective consciousness and for even your community or direct community or your close circle. Like, I feel like the way that people love to see you in this light has taught you because they express it to you. I definitely feel like you guys have experienced people expressing it to you, even strangers, and you taking their word for it has been a game changer because it's not like I'm going to define myself based on what you say. I'm actually just going to have faith that you're telling me your truth. And because you have that faith and trust, fundamentally, it's because it comes from within you. So this discernment thing that I'm sensing as well from, because I was telling in the part one of this reading, like if you watched the other reading that was more pertaining like you and on your soul's journey, like you yourself in this physical world, if you watch that reading, this is double, triple confirmation, because I really do feel like this energy comes from you learning to be someone who is what you dreamed of in response to what you actually received. And the way that people reacted to you, the way that people have like even treated you in general, like a pattern of treatment, you know? Like, and I say this because you are very analytical, like maybe a very strong Virgo placements or even sixth house placements, because I really do feel like you see things very clearly within the details. Thank you, confirmation. You see very clearly in the details. It's kind of what I'm getting from the single card as well. It's like even in your friendships, even in your like platonic, just platonic and impersonal connections, like this isn't like always very deep all the time. It's interesting because you're no longer making things deep. You experience the depth when it comes, and it's kind of like hand in hand. And so I feel like this person that's coming into your life, or they are already in your life, they're perceiving you, they're witnessing you, the way that they actually experience and interact with you teaches them what commitment looks like in your connection. And then like let's just say for example, you know, everyone has free will, they can choose. So if they were to ever like explore and like try to have a connection like yours with another person that maybe is like more physically aligned with what their preferences are, because I feel like you are friends with this person too, maybe, because that's what I'm getting from the soulmate card. It's like maybe they already are your friend or you're already friends with them. And like the way that they expect connections to be like your friendship outside of it has actually allowed their standards to rise. And it's interesting because I don't feel like this person necessarily views their standards to be low. Like, not necessarily like they're going to treat themselves like shit or like they have things like they need to work on in terms of that. Like, I don't really feel like this person needs to do that anymore. But maybe like from this interaction with you and how they've chosen other people have taught them, like, oh, like I might not need to do this internal work right now, but me making a different choice is going to help me implement the things that I've already alchemized. And so you're so fucking beautiful, bro. Like fuck. Like this kind of beauty though, like this is not just physical. All right? All right? This is not just physical. This is very much beyond the physical realm, and you've accessed different dimensions for sure, especially for my collective on TikTok who's come here. Like, you guys are very intuitive, and my collective is very tapped in spiritually. Whether you guys are spiritual or not, it doesn't matter, because I feel like the way that you interact with the world has been based in the energy. And maybe you actually like are a very scientific person, and that's why like it might even be like a beautiful contradiction that you experience is like you watching this video even though you know these things on like a quantum physics level. You know what I mean? So it's like this chemistry that you're currently activating within yourself is because of the fact that you're willing to explore different. Oh my god, I fucking love this energy so much. Sorry, I just like I haven't done a reading like this in a while. Like I haven't done an extended. So this energy coming through, you are so, I already love you, okay? And I have not even, I don't need to see you. That is literally what it is. They don't even need to see you to love you, because when they think about memories with you, for example, if you already know them, it's like they just smile to themselves. You are literally so healing for the divine masculine energy and entity. And it's crazy because I feel like it's very much needed during this time, especially as a lot of people are going through the fucking ringer. With all these transits, we have Venus in Pisces, I'm pretty sure. We have Saturn moving into Aries. I think Neptune is also making a transit as well. I think it's in Pisces. Oh my god, that'd be absolutely insane. But correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, there's a lot of strong astrological place or transits that are happening, and your placements as well. Sagittarius, Aquarius, ninth house, seventh house, and I am sensing Cancerian energy as well. I'm actually, I want to look into this Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, because it could be like, it could be a physical like offering, especially with Valentine's Day coming up. So this is kind of like a, um, yeah, this is kind of interesting because I feel like they want to explore something. So maybe they're going to offer, like, oh, let's go to this event. Let's try this thing out. Do you want to maybe, like, I remember you said, like, you're interested in music. Do you want to go to this concert together and see if you like this music? Like, yada, 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 like things like that. So kind of like that newness in that experience. Okay. I want cards to fully fall out, please. Thank you. The Wheel of Fortune. You can get your hopes up for this shit. That's for sure. That is for sure. For sure. Okay? I just saw the Eight of Cups. Before, I saw the Five of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. And I don't remember what the other card was. Motherfuckers, I just pulled, okay? Moon at the bottom of the deck, King of Swords, Queen of Swords. Whew, I've never gotten a reading like this, actually. Because I feel like, even though when I say, like, union, like, divine counterpart union, it's always been, like, on an internal level. So, in other words, you've done the motherfucking work. Look at you. Look at you. I fucking love this. And it's crazy because, just to kind of, like, connect this to how I can explain this. Sorry, it's just hard to verbalize everything because I'm so excited. So, I teach kids how to rock climb, right? And so, I always tell them, it's not about getting to the top, seriously. It's about getting to the point, your checkpoint, and going one step higher. And because you've consistently done this, you as a person, you working from your inner child wounds and getting to this point, every single thing, even like the reparenting, even the unconditioning yourself from societal constructs, even redefining what it actually means to be feminine, like things like that, you know? So this energy comes through as you are the one who actually provides a lot more clarity than you think. And it's interesting because I feel like the Queen of Swords is coming through as you speaking to the King of Swords, who's already grounded. Okay? So this person, I love this so much. So this person actually, even though they might not like present as this, when it comes to your connection, like you and them are going to build a very like intentional, emotionally connective. How do I describe this? Because it's interesting. It does give soulmate energy. Like it just feels meant to be. It's like when you meet someone serendipitously and then you just become best friends, you know? Like that is the energy, but it's not because you're best friends for the fact that you're together, you know? Like maybe you are long distance best friends with someone, and like just because you're long distance doesn't mean you just stop caring, you know? Like your life is happening, you're still prioritizing like your life, but then at the same time you think about this connection every so often because it comes through. And so that's kind of the energy that I'm getting. It's like maybe you didn't realize like, oh, like I want to pursue this because that wasn't your focus. And especially because I mentioned this in that other reading that I was talking about, like where I'm talking more about you instead of like this love counterpart person energy. It's like interesting because I feel like you kind of sometimes forget the fact that you've done so much work on yourself to get to this point. And then simultaneously, it's like, oh, I can be proud of myself. I can pat myself on the back and I can also reward myself. And so your ability to kind of reassess the way that you show up for yourself has become a lot more succinct. Like it's become a lot more like, I'm going to have this day off be completely for me. All the things that I enjoy, all the things that really bring more life and love into my life with my love. And so you're growing in that evolutionary aspect of tapping into your love state. Tapping into your love state is really, really significant in this connection because the way that they love to hear what you have to say, this bruh, he want to listen. Okay, I say he, but like, you know, pronouns. They want to listen to everything. Like they really, if you haven't told this person anything about like your experience with them, I think you should just share that. Not necessarily like, oh, I like you. Just, it's not just that. That's what I'm getting. It's like, it's kind of like you go up to them and you're like, hey, I really do enjoy our interactions together. And like, I know that we don't have as much time to like allocate it into our schedules, but I just want you to know that I appreciate the time that we do have together. And I feel like that is kind of like you've released yourself from having expectations for people because of the fact that you can't control them. It's not that like people don't meet your expectations. If anything, you've actually seen and experienced people exceed the expectations. And then therefore you have a standard. That is kind of where the establishment of your experience and your relationship with your ego has also come through as well. You're a very beautiful being in the sense of like, you are willing to regulate, you're willing to take accountability, you're willing to be proactive, to be inspired, to like be these things that you naturally feel. And so the way that this person kind of interacts with you is like they want to also discover that in their own lives. And so they've done a lot of things where it's been a proactive essence of like applying, like constantly applying. And so now that they've applied, they've learned to implement it and acclimate it into their life. And so with the 10 card here, which is ruled by Jupiter and also the planet that rules Sagittarius. So maybe this person's a Sag or you're a Sag, because truly, the fact that this is fucking collective, guys. Oh my gosh. I feel like you're low-key kind of whipped for this Sag, but then at the same time, it's like whipped in such a beautiful friendship type of way. I am kind of getting the Six of Cups again from the other reading that I was doing. I got the Six of Cups first. The fact that I even remember that is crazy. Because I really feel like, oh my gosh, they fucking love you, bro. Like, I want to keep talking about it because the Star, Temperance, Queen of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, the Queen of Swords, and then the King of Swords. And so I feel like it's interesting because I do want to say, like, a lot of you guys who identify as the feminine and define themselves as the feminine entity, that's just extra confirmation, is you kind of like alchemized and redirected what it actually means to be within your feminine divine energy. And a lot of people say, like, especially within the spiritual community, the divine feminine is receptive. She is at rest. She's the one who's just sitting back and relaxing. But in reality, you know, like, for example, like you want to go travel, right? You literally have to pack. You have to pack. Well, you don't have to, but you could pack. You could pack for this trip, but you have to be the person that goes on the trip, you know, like actually goes to the airport and goes on the plane and like goes through TSA and all this shit. Like you have to be the one who books the flight. So it's like interesting that we would even say that the feminine is only one thing. She is never just one thing. The feminine energy is truly wild, and that's what I'm getting from your energy as well. So that's why the Sagittarius kind of feels interchangeable. So maybe if really good Sagittarius compatibility placements with this other person, that is also going to be confirmation. If you study that, please be discerning because it's not just about the sun sign. Just want to make that very, very clear. But it's interesting because I feel like the way that they perceive you is like, you know what it is? I feel like they've learned to stop putting you on a pedestal because they are only able to perceive you in that way because they are on the same level. And that's something that they had to really just clock. They had to clock this shit because if they didn't, then they would constantly do that and they would start to self-deprecate. And this person has gone through various experiences where they've had to learn, like some people will not appreciate what they naturally are. But for the fact of the matter is that when they came into your life, you instantly recognize them as just a person. And so now they see communion like between another person, even in a platonic sense. Like I really feel like you guys are friends already because you've genuinely healed what feminine friendships are for this person in a new way. And I'm not saying like they don't have friends that aren't they I'm not saying that they don't have feminine friends, but like or female friends, you know. But it's like interesting because it's like your uniqueness with this star energy coming through is just so untainted. Like it cannot be replicated. I really want to emphasize for this collective, like maybe in the past you used to feel like, oh, am I special? Like, am I so different from other people that like I just can't connect with them right now? And it's like you even saying that has been a big journey, has been a big journey for a lot of you guys because I do feel like you've had to learn to be with yourself a lot of the time. And it kind of is, I literally feel like my eyes are tearing up because it's like, it has been challenging because you really do love people. You love people so purely. And like, I really feel like if you are watching this part, you are definitely a part of my collective. And it's crazy because I feel like you've learned to go through many different moments with yourself because to be able to witness yourself in that moment and give yourself that space has been a sacred aspect of your journey. And it's like, it's a sourcing, you know, like you get to source from that. So you purify the space. And maybe in the past you were codependent. Maybe in the past you were anxiously attached, and that's fine because of the fact that you are here in this now. You're watching this video and you're active, like you're activating the fact that you have alchemized, you have been proactive, you've been like someone who's literally lived your life to experience something different. You have lived something different. And so now you've encoded into yourself that anything is fucking possible. Like you have literally proven that to yourself. And it's crazy because if you really think about it in hindsight, everything that you've experienced has brought you to this point. And so there really is no, like, it's almost like there's no way that you could actually be ashamed of what you've gone through and what you've chosen in the past because of the fact that you are here now as the way that you are because of everything. Everything. Conscious, unconscious, subconscious. Every single dimensional experience of it. Every single multifaceted expression that you are experiencing and allow yourself to experience and choose. And so it's interesting because I feel like when you do talk to this person, they're listening. They're really listening. And sometimes they might not even understand you, and that's okay too, because I feel like they make an effort to like apply their own selves into your experience. Like they try their best to walk in your shoes. And especially if you're someone who's more drawn to the opposite gender, like it really feels like they know that they can't actually understand certain parts of your experience. And it's because they are in a different physical incarnate. And like if they are very spiritual, they do tap into like kind of like past life karmic energy too, because like I feel like this person is spiritual, but they're not intentionally spiritual. Like they don't they don't watch tarot readings, for example, you know, like they don't study astrology or something like that, you know, like those kinds of things. Like they don't put their attention into it, but they're naturally very tuned into their intuition. And it's so beautiful because I feel like maybe you haven't even met a masculine that's truly like this, but it's simultaneously kind of like it's unique. It's very unique because I feel like you always thought it would show up in a certain way because, you know, you're a feminine divine. You're very tuned in, at least to your feminine divine energy. And so that makes you very tuned into your intuition. And you also being someone who's tapped into flow state, who's like literally endowed yourself with so much wisdom because you allowed yourself to be able to access that on a ancestral level, but also on a past life, like karmic level. You have very good, accessibility. Like I don't know how else to describe it. You just have a lot of access to a lot of different information. And so I feel like the way that this person shows up for you is kind of like, oh, I didn't realize, like, I didn't know that it could show up in that way. And that's pretty cool. Like it's like a almost like curious, like, I wonder what they would think about this or this kind of topic. And it's really good for you. This connection is so fucking good for you. You deserve this so much. Okay, I'm gonna pull a few more of my word Chelsea Gomez deck. I did call it. Though. Yeah. So I'm not gonna take this card, but returning. So this person might even feel kind of nostalgic to you, and that might throw you off. You are very, I don't know if I said this actually in part 1, but you're very telepathic and like telepathically connected to this person. Actually, no, I did say this, but not, because I feel like I was saying, like when you guys are apart, you still think about each other in moments. And it's not like an overthinking or like obsessive thinking. It's not like that. It's like you think about it because you're experiencing something good in your life. You're like, oh yeah, this person like told me that they really like this. And then you just smile about the conversation or the things that they're sharing about it. And you're like, that's nice. And so songs, dreams, Sagittarius, man, animals are coming through so strong. Spiritual awakening. Okay. Yeah, you guys are evolving through this. I hope this helped because I honestly just going with the flow because this is so beautiful. I fucking love you. Like seriously, I fucking love your energy. If you've made it this far, please leave a light blue heart in the comments because I would love to share some love with you guys because I really, really I'm so proud of you. Like, truly, I'm so proud of you for getting to this fucking point and going through everything that you're going through in the past and even now. And really, just keep going because you're doing great. I promise you, you're doing so fucking good and you can do this. All right. So I'm sending you so much love and support. If you'd like to book a personal, please go ahead and email me. It is in my bio. But other than that, sending you so much love, so much support on your own spiritual journey. Bye, collective.